Day one of the FIA Extreme H World Cup would start with a time trial format. One run in the morning, one run in the afternoon. The times to be added together to give a leaderboard. JBX's Tommy Howman and Christine GZ were absolutely rapid and would have won that first session, but unfortunately clipped one of the chevrons on the steep climb, and that penalty would drop them down the order. Third after the first session, Andreas Backrud and Katie Munnings for Team Hansen. Brilliant job by them. Remember, of course, they won the final Extreme E event last weekend. Taylor and Hansen for Jamil Motorsport. They were in that fight with the Hansen squad in that last Extreme E race, and they're right up there again. Now they're in the Extreme H vehicle. The new hydrogen-powered cars absolutely flying on this roller coaster course. But a familiar name at the top of the table, KMS, who won the second to last round of Extreme E. Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski and Johan Kristoffersson. Brilliant job by them. They're top of the table after the first session. On to session number 2. Stard, they'd had a terrible run the first time out with a broken rear motor. This time with four-wheel drive, Patrick O'Donovan and Amanda Sorensen were able to go much quicker. A little bit of redemption for them. The times were extremely close between the various front runners. In fact, if nobody had a penalty in the first session, the top 8 cars, all 8 cars, would have been covered by just 5 seconds. Gray Ledbetter and Fraser McConnell for Zeroid Motorsport, a good time by them, but an exceptional time in the super sector. 2 bonus qualifying points up for grabs for the winner of that section. It looked like it might well be them. JBX, Tommy Howman and Christine GZ going out flying again on their run. They were at the top of the table for most of the session. The fast cars were still to come. Carl Cox Motorsport, Clara Anderson and Timo Scheid, a big push from them. A couple of mistakes they weren't happy with. Every 10th counts in these Extreme H cars. Couldn't be closer between those top drivers. Team Evans, Header, Hozos and OC Baby were flying in the second session. Brilliant performance by them, of course, after making their debut last weekend in Extreme E and looking to continue that in Extreme H. The Hansen squad then, up next. They were within a second of the leaders after Q1. What could they do in this session?
It's interesting to see how different the 2 drivers can have as an approach to the corners. I mean, Andreas, of course, super sideways. Katie, much more controlled, or at least I said that. Yes. I take that back.
Bit deep. So that's where Andreas, we think, gained time. It was 0.88 up. Oh, Andreas looks down. He knows it's a mistake, and when we're dealing in tenths and hundredths, it's going to be tight. 0.68 up, so 1.4 seconds lost just in that tiny little run wide. But that's where he took the risk and gained some time. Katie took it. The front didn't hook up. She'll be a bit frustrated, but she's got a few more waypoints to go to try and get it back.
No, of course, and I think it's just coming down ever so slightly now, so she just needs to get a nice little legs out of here. Oh, a little bit too sideways, a bit of an over-rotation. She's going to carry the speed up to the hill.
Here we go, 2 more corners to go. Katie's got to get these bang on. She's 0.93 down, trying to knock Team Even off that top spot. She's 0.35 gaining. She's just 0.35 back. If the last corner's bang on, she might get away with it. Bit of understeer on the way in. Says 0.5 down as she comes over the line. 0.88 off, so less than a second off. They were only a second off the top time last time. So Kevin, then a little adjustment to the helmet again. Through the right hand of this drone shot is incredible. There are the ruts. He gets a good exit here. And now down towards the jump and then the hairpin right at the bottom. So listen, full throttle here. And then on the brakes immediately that it lands, Clara. This one's so tricky.
Absolutely. You come here with the highest speed on the track almost, and you need to get the car stopped and get a nice clean exit, just like Kevin did. So yeah, so far he's doing a great job.
Plus, minus 0.2. He's done a fantastic job in that hairpin. He's found 1.4 seconds. We saw Katie ran wide on her run, and that's going to make the difference. Timmy Hansen is in there in the command centre. He doesn't know what to do. He's the boss of Hansen Motorsport, but there he is looking at the data for his brother Kevin Hansen, who's driving for Jamil Motorsport. Big sense here from Kevin Hansen on the final lap. He takes another 10th out, so this will be enough, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes in the final 2 corners, to secure the position. Doesn't use quite the track, almost on the flag on the inside. Big, deep intake of breath here from Clara Anderson in commentary. She knows how hard he's trying. He's found more time. 3.28, runs it out over the line. Fantastic job, 5 minutes 40.8. Jamil go to the top in this one, and they go to the top overall. 11:23.982. At that time of 5:40.8, big celebration for Kevin, because that's 2.2 seconds faster than KMS went in the first run. What a great drive. Clara, that's impressive.
Fair play to Kevin. That was a hell of a lap. This will be hard for KMS.
This could not be tight to 0.73. He's taking, nibbling little bits here and there. has seen anything. Oh, Molly Taylor, she's got a heart in her mouth. There's going to be a 1/10 of a second in this one. Over the big jump. He's late on the brakes. The sump guard dug in there at the front. Into the right-hander.
Bit of understeer.
Yeah, 1.21, but has he got to the flank before he's got it turned in and therefore loses on the exit? We'll find out. Yes, loses a second in the hairpin. Well spotted, Clara Anderson. It nosedived in. 0.3 takes a 10th back off Kevin. All to play for then. KMS through the double right-hander from the drone. 0.6, he's up 0.6 of a second. Remember, they had a lead of a 1/10 of a second this morning. And then Kevin Hansen and Molly Taylor absolutely flew. 0.86 up at the minute. KMS are doing what they need to do. There's 2 corners to go. 0.5, we know Kevin was good in it. 3/10 back the other way. KMS, Christopherson on the throttle, 0.6. It's going a 10th each way into the final corner. Rotation's good, it's 0.64, 0.67. Another 300ths over the line. They've done it. Top of the table. KMS take it by the tiniest of margins. 11.23.3 compared to 11.23.9. 0.6 of a second separates it at the end of that run. What a brilliant session. What a great battle between Team KMS and Jamil Motorsport. That was fantastic. So the standings at the end of day one. Let's take a look. And at the top of the table, it is KMS. Christopherson Motorsport, Johan Christopherson and Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski. 10 points for them, right down to 3 points for Stard. Remember, those points get added up, and that gives us our grid positions on Saturday for the FIA Extreme H World Cup final.